Have you ever wondered why money seems to flow effortlessly into the lives of some, while for others it feels like a ghost always seen at a distance, yet never quite captured? Pause with me here. Breathe into that question, for it is not a casual curiosity, but the beginning of a revelation. Money, dear friend, is not the lifeless paper you fold in your wallet, nor the cold numbers on a bank's glowing screen. Money is a vibration, a song, a living, breathing presence. It is responsive alive to your tone, your belief, your spoken word. It is not against you. It has never abandoned you. It is waiting faithfully like a loyal dog at the door of your life, ready to leap into your arms the moment you call its name with love and certainty. Picture this with me. You stand in a quiet meadow at dawn. The air is still, the grass jeweled with dew, and suddenly a faint shimmer begins to gather around you. Tiny particles of light, golden dancing in the morning air. These particles respond to your very breath, your very thought. They cluster when you speak of wealth, they scatter when you speak of lack. They are money waiting in its invisible form, longing to shape itself into your experience. Now pause again. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift even now as your awareness opens? Money is not a stranger. Money is energy, and energy answers to vibration. Just as a note on the piano will cause the strings to tremble in sympathetic harmony, your beliefs and words strike the invisible chords of supply. When you play the note of gratitude, of expectation, of certainty, money cannot help but answer. Think of the times when you have spoken of lack. I can't afford it. Money always slips through my fingers. I'm just not lucky with finances. Each phrase was a note played out of tune, and money, faithful to its nature, responded accordingly. Not in punishment, but in precision. For energy mirrors back to you what you declare. And yet, here is the wonder. The moment you change your song, the moment you shift your tone, money gathers again. It leans forward, eager, ready to serve. Like sunlight breaking through cloud, it is only waiting for your invitation. You may have thought of money as hard, distant, even cruel, but it is none of these. It is gentle, obedient, quick to follow command. Imagine calling a beloved dog. You whistle and instantly it bounds toward you, ears, flying eyes alight with joy. That is how money longs to answer when you call it by its true name, not with fear, but with clarity, with love, with authority. The faithful dog of supply, waiting not for someone else's command, but for yours. And so, as we begin this journey, I ask you to see money anew. No longer a lifeless object, no longer an enemy, but a living vibration, a partner, a mirror. When you bless it, it blesses you. When you speak of it with gratitude, it multiplies. When you summon it with confidence, it arrives with wagging tail and eager heart. Pause once more. Breathe. Feel those golden particles in the air about you. Imagine them gathering closer, swirling around your hands, waiting to take form. This is not imagination alone, it is alignment with reality. For energy is always listening, and money is always responding. As you sit with this awareness, let these words sink deep. Money is my friend. Money is alive. Money responds to me. Do you feel the shift? Even the cells of your body lean forward to listen, for your very being knows this truth. Now let us take this moment to bless the path ahead. For we are not here to chase after coins as beggars, nor to hoard wealth in fear. We are here to recognize money as the ever-living stream of divine supply. To step into harmony with it, to speak its name, to welcome it home. And as we continue, I invite you support this journey, support this channel, so that together we may keep creating these spaces of peace, rest, and renewal. Subscribe to stay with us. Walk this path of vibration and let money answer your call. For the vibration of wealth is already alive within you. All that remains is to call it forth. Have you ever noticed how casually we throw words into the air as though they vanish the moment they are spoken? And yet life itself is but the echo of those words returning to us in form. Florence Scovel Shinn, with her timeless wisdom, declared, "Your word is your wand. With it, you carve your destiny, you summon your supply, you open or close the very gates of abundance." Pause, beloved listener, and consider this. How many times have you said, "I'm always broke," or "money just doesn't stick with me"? Each time you were unknowingly issuing a decree, and the universe, obedient, precise, fulfilled it. Not because it wished you harm, but because it is a mirror, a faithful servant of the spoken word. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, gentle in heart, but careless in tongue. Whenever friends asked how he was doing, he sighed and laughed. "Oh, I'm just scraping by. Always broke, you know me." And so it was. Month after month, he found himself with bills, unpaid opportunities slipping through his hands like sand. He did not know he was living under the spell of his own decree. But then contrast this with another story. A woman, once weary of lack, decided to test this principle. She stood before her mirror one morning and spoke aloud, "I call in $5,000 this month. I speak it, I claim it, I receive it." She felt silly at first, as though she were ordering the stars to move. Yet she persisted, speaking it each morning, each night. And then, as if the universe itself leaned in to listen, synchronicities began to unfold. A forgotten refund arrived. A friend repaid an old loan. A new client appeared eager and ready. By the month's end, she held in her hands exactly what she had spoken. Your word is not idle breath. It is command. It is divine law set into motion. Think of it like a restaurant order. If you sit before the waiter and say only, "Bring me food," what might you receive? Something random, something unchosen, perhaps even something unappetizing. But when you say, "Bring me a steaming bowl of vegetable soup with warm bread on the side," the order is precise and the kitchen responds exactly. So it is with life. A vague word yields vague results. A precise word yields precise supply. When you mutter lack, you are served lack. When you decree abundance, you are served abundance. And here, repetition is your ally. Listen now, your word is your wand. Your decree is your destiny. Your word is your wand. Your decree is your destiny. Feel the rhythm, the truth humming beneath those words. Pause with me and let them echo in your heart. It is not enough to merely hope in silence. You must speak. For the spoken word carries vibration. It strikes the air, it ripples through unseen dimensions. It engraves itself upon the substance of spirit. Whispering, shouting, affirming every tone is a brushstroke upon the canvas of your reality. Let me offer you another image. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast canyon. You call out a phrase, and the canyon throws it back to you in echo. If you cry, "I am poor," the canyon answers, "I am poor. I am poor." If you call, "I am richly supplied," the canyon answers, "I am richly supplied. I am richly supplied." Life is this canyon. It cannot help but echo your words. So I ask you now, what have you been commanding? What has your wand been conjuring? Are you perhaps unconsciously creating a spell of lack with each casual complaint? If so, you need not despair. For the wand is ever in your hand, and the moment you change your words, you change your life. Take this moment with me now. Speak aloud wherever you are, even in a whisper. I call in wealth. I call in joy. I call in supply. My word creates my reality. Do you feel the shift? Even the atmosphere around you stirs when such decrees are spoken with clarity. For the universe is quick, sharp, precise in its response. Here is the secret Florence Scovel. Shin gave us speak with clarity, speak with authority, and speak with expectation. When you decree, the law is set in motion. You need not know how it shall arrive. The kitchen of heaven prepares the order. The canyon of life returns. The echo, the faithful dog of supply, leaps to answer. Let us anchor this truth once more. Your word is your wand. Your decree is your destiny. Speak lack, and lack obeys. Speak abundance, and abundance answers. And as you hold this truth, I invite you support this journey. Subscribe so that these words of life may continue to flow into your days, so that we may create spaces of peace, power, and restoration. Together, we are building a sanctuary of words, a temple of sound, where every decree is honored. For now, as you close this block, whisper one last time, my word is my wand. My decree is fulfilled, and so it is. Close your eyes for a moment, beloved one, and step with me into a vision. Imagine yourself standing before the gates of a magnificent storehouse. Its walls stretch beyond sight. Its doors are tall as mountains, and above them is carved in radiant letters, the infinite supply of God. The doors open and you walk inside. What do you see? A vast warehouse of abundance, shelves upon shelves, endless rows filled with treasures. Boxes marked with precise sums of money, and dollars, tens and dollars, $100s and dollars, and beyond. Chests filled with opportunities, drawers overflowing with golden coins, racks displaying jewels of wisdom, creativity, and joy. Everything you could ever ask for already exists here, waiting, cataloged, organized, prepared for delivery. This is no idle fantasy. This is the truth of the divine storehouse. Every possible form of wealth already exists in spirit, awaiting your claim. But here lies the key you must ask, and you must ask precisely. Imagine a man who wanders into the storehouse and says vaguely, I just want some money. The attendants of heaven, eager to serve, hand him a small box labeled $20. He frowns, unsatisfied. Another day, he asks again, I need more money. They hand him a box labeled $200. Still, he complains. He has not learned the law of precision. He keeps ordering soup without saying what kind, and so receives whatever chance brings. Now picture another man. He steps boldly to the counter and declares, I request and claim $5,000 paid in full, easily and quickly. The divine attendants nod, check the shelves, and immediately bring forth the exact box. That man walks out satisfied, not because he was more worthy, but because he knew how to place his order with clarity. So it is with you. God's storehouse contains infinite molds of supply, each sum of money, each blessing, already formed in spirit. You need not struggle to create it. You need only align your words with precision, for the law responds exactly as you speak. Pause here and let the image deepen. You are standing in that storehouse. Walk the aisles. Let your fingers brush across the labels $1,000, $10,000, $50,000. Notice how many there are. Limitless, endless, abundance beyond your wildest imagination. Can you feel the truth rising in your chest? There is no lack. There's only precision in asking. Florence Scovel Shin often said you must ask and ask precisely. Too many seekers falter because their words are vague, half-hearted, or clouded with doubt. They whisper, I just want to be comfortable, and so life gives them just enough to survive. They mutter, I hope something works out and life answers with confusion, delays half-formed blessings. But the one who stands firm and says, I call in $10,000 this month in perfect ways under grace, will find the heavens aligning swiftly. Think of an architect. He does not tell the builders, just make me a house. He hands them blueprints exact and precise. Without a blueprint, the builders cannot act. But with it, the house rises faithfully, line by line, brick by brick. Your words are the blueprints. Spirit is the builder. Precision is the key. Let me tell you a story. A woman once desired a new home. She prayed, but her words were scattered. I just want somewhere nice to live. She toured house after house, yet nothing fit. Months passed, frustration grew. Then she remembered the law of precision. She sat down and wrote her decree. I call in a sunny home with 3 bedrooms, a garden, a fireplace, and space for my work. Within 2 weeks, a friend mentioned a house for rent, exactly as she described down to the fireplace. The divine storehouse had been waiting all along. She had simply needed to place the right order. Now reflect, have you been vague in your requests? Have you said only, I want more money, instead of declaring the precise sum? Do not fear being bold. The storehouse is infinite. Asking for $1,000 does not deplete the shelf of another. Claiming $50,000 does not rob your neighbor. The abundance of God is without measure, without end. Repeat this truth with me. I must ask, and I must ask precisely. Again, I must ask, and I must ask precisely. Feel the law engraving itself into your being as you say it. The divine attendants are listening, ready to fetch from the shelves whatever mold you decree. Let us return to that vision. You are walking now deeper into the storehouse. You stop before a shelf where boxes gleam with golden light. Upon one box is written the exact sum you need. Perhaps $5,000, perhaps $20,000, perhaps more. You place your hand upon it. You feel its weight, its readiness. Speak now with the authority of divine childship. This is mine. I claim it. I call it forth under grace in perfect ways. Do you sense the shift? The law is moving. The blueprint has been given. The attendants have leapt into action. Somewhere in the physical world, doors are opening. Opportunities are aligning. Money is stirring itself toward you. Not tomorrow, not someday, even now. Remember this, the divine storehouse never closes. It never runs out. It never denies. Its only requirement is clarity. Your vague request produces a vague result. Your precise decree produces a precise manifestation. So when you next speak of money, do not say, I just need more. Instead, say with boldness, I call in $10,000, paid in full, easily and quickly, under grace in perfect ways, and then rest. For the storehouse is already delivering. Let us seal this block with a decree together, infinite Spirit. I place my order. I call forth my exact supply with precision, with faith, with gratitude, and it comes to me now. So it is, and so it shall be. Faith. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the silent current that carries your decree from the storehouse of spirit into the hands of flesh. Yet too often, faith is measured against appearances, against the shifting shadows of circumstance. And so the seeker falters, believing the lack he sees is greater than the abundance that is promised. But listen well, appearances are but mirages, shifting, fleeting, never the final word. Divine supply is not measured by what your eyes see, nor by the numbers printed on a bank statement. It is measured only by the infinite abundance of spirit. Picture a waterfall, vast and roaring, pouring endlessly from the heights of heaven. You stand beneath it, holding out a vessel to catch the flow. If you hold a thimble, you will fill a thimble. If you hold a bucket, you will fill a bucket. If you hold out barrels, oceans open channels, you will be filled according to your faith. The waterfall does not change. It never diminishes. It never pauses. It pours without end. The only difference is the size of the vessel you bring. This is faith, not blind wishing, not fragile hope, but the confident expansion of your capacity to receive. Let me share a story. There was a man who had but $20 left in his pocket. His bills towered over him like giants, and fear pressed heavily upon his chest. Yet instead of bowing to appearances, he closed his eyes and whispered, "I am divinely supplied. My wealth is already here. I walk in abundance now." He held fast, even as doubt tried to claw at him. Within days, unexpected blessings appeared. A neighbor repaid a forgotten debt. A new client called, eager for his work. The man's pocket, once empty, overflowed again, not because of the $20, but because of the bucket of faith he held beneath the waterfall. Now contrast this with another. A woman faced with similar lack clutched her last dollars with fear. "This is all I have," she repeated, circling her lack with words of despair. She held only a thimble of faith, and so her experience was but a trickle. Not because she was unworthy, but because she did not yet know the law. Beloved, your faith is your vessel. What vessel are you holding now? A thimble, a bucket, a riverbed wide enough to carry oceans. Spirit is not limited. The waterfall is not scarce. Only your belief can narrow or widen the flow. Imagine a child at a wealthy parent's table. The child asks for bread. Does he doubt that bread will be given? Does he pace the floor and worry, calculating whether his parent can afford it? No, he simply asks and receives. He trusts in the unseen abundance of the household. So must you ask, not from fear, but from the unshakable faith that supply already exists. And yet faith is not merely belief. It is the refusal to be moved by appearances. When your pockets feel empty, faith declares, "My supply is full." When the world whispers lack, faith answers, "I live in divine abundance." Faith measures not by the shadows of today, but by the eternal truth of spirit. Pause now. Place your hand upon your heart. Whisper softly, "My faith is my bucket. I bring a greater vessel. I am filled to overflowing." Do you feel the resonance of those words? Your very soul expands to meet them. Let me offer you a vision. You stand at the base of the great waterfall. In your hand, a tiny thimble. You watch as the water rushes by, endless, infinite. Suddenly, you cast aside the thimble and lift a bucket. The water pours in, filling it quickly. You smile, then set down barrels, then pools, then lakes. And still, the waterfall flows, never diminished. This is the law according to your faith, so shall it be done unto you. Faith does not wait for proof. Faith declares the truth now. Faith does not shrink before appearances, it looks beyond them. Faith is the eye that sees supply where the world sees emptiness. And so, dear one, I invite you now, expand your vessel. Declare your abundance, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Say it aloud with me, I walk in divine supply. I expand my capacity to receive. My faith is my bucket, and I am filled to overflowing. Pause here. Let silence wrap around those words. Let them sink deep like seeds planted in rich soil. For faith is not only spoken, it is lived. Each time you choose gratitude over complaint, you are widening your bucket. Each time you affirm abundance in the face of lack, you are enlarging your vessel. Each time you act in trust, you are proving the law of supply. Let us seal this truth with one more decree. appearances are nothing to me. I measure only by the abundance of God. My faith is my bucket, and I overflow with wealth. And so it is. And if these words stir you, I invite you to anchor your faith with action. Comment below if you feel called. My faith is my bucket. Let the very act of declaring it be the expansion of your vessel. For as you decree, so shall it be. Beloved one, we have walked together through the meadow of vibration, through the echoing canyon of the word, and into the infinite storehouse of divine supply. You have learned that money is a live, responsive waiting. You have learned that your word is your wand, your decree, the blueprint by which spirit builds. You have learned that faith is the vessel, whether thimble or bucket, beneath the roaring waterfall of abundance. Now it is time to take the next step, not just to listen, not just to imagine, but to speak, to call forth your supply with boldness, to make your first true money call. For too long, many have whispered timidly to life, if only, maybe, someday. But timidity has no place in the language of manifestation. Spirit responds not to hesitation, but to clarity, authority, and joy. The decree must be spoken not as a question, but as a command, gentle, yet firm, loving, yet unwavering. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast field, your faithful dog waiting in the distance. If you whisper faintly, "Come here if you want," the dog may tilt its head uncertain. But if you call boldly, clearly with joy, "Come," the dog comes bounding with all its strength, eager to obey. So it is with money. It awaits your call. Not timid, not hesitant, but bold, certain, alive. Before we speak, let us prepare the heart. Sit upright. Breathe deeply. With each breath, imagine golden light filling your chest, expanding outward. See yourself standing once more in that infinite storehouse, your hand resting on the exact sum you desire. The attendants of heaven look to you, waiting for your words. What sum shall you call today? Do not shrink. Choose a number that feels bold yet believable, stretching your faith without snapping it. Perhaps $1,000, perhaps $10,000, perhaps more. What matters is not the figure, but the clarity and certainty with which you call it. Now repeat after me. Speak it aloud, even if softly. Let the air carry your words, for vibration is the messenger. I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. Paid in full, easily and quickly, under grace in perfect ways. Pause. Let the vibration ripple. Feel it move through the unseen. Again, with greater strength, I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. Paid in full, easily and quickly, under grace in perfect ways. Do you feel the difference? The decree grows stronger with each repetition, like a drumbeat summoning dancers, like a trumpet calling armies to attention. Spirit hears the storehouse, stirs opportunities begin their march toward you. Now close your eyes once more. Imagine the money in your hand. Feel the crisp rustle of bills, the smooth weight of coins, the cool texture of a check with your name upon it. Hear the sound of envelopes opening, of bank notifications arriving, of laughter spilling as blessings flow in. See yourself smiling, giving thanks, paying with ease, blessing others from your overflow. This is not daydream, it is alignment. For the subconscious mind, when filled with vivid images and spoken decree, cannot distinguish between present and future. It accepts the word as law and begins shaping reality accordingly. So again we speak, I call in $10,000. I hold it in my hands. It is mine now. Paid in full, easily and quickly, under grace in perfect ways. Beloved, repetition is not vain. It is rhythm like waves against the shore, carving new grooves in the sands of the subconscious. Each decree deepens the track until abundance flows like water through a riverbed. Let us call again, together in rhythm. I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. I call in $10,000. It comes to me now. It comes to me now. It comes to me now. Pause. Feel the silence after the sound, the echo within your chest. That silence is not empty. It is filled with power waiting to crystallize. Perhaps even now a voice within you whispers, "But how, from where is this possible?" That is the old voice of appearances, the thimble rattling beneath the waterfall. Do not argue with it. Do not feed it. Simply return to the decree, for boldness leaves no room for doubt. Florence Scovel. Shin once wrote, "A person knowing the power of the word becomes very careful of his conversation. He has only to watch the reaction of his words to know that they do not return void." Your decree will not return void. The money call has been sent. The universe, faithful to its law, must answer. Let us now seal the practice with gratitude. Speak aloud, "Thank you, Infinite Spirit. The money I call is already mine. I receive it with joy. I bless it as it blesses me. And so it is." Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. Feel the calm assurance that comes when the order has been placed, the blueprint delivered, the decree engraved. You need not shout into the void again and again. You have spoken with boldness. Now rest in trust, knowing the delivery is on its way. Beloved one, this is your first money call. A practice not of fear, but of joy. Not of begging, but of commanding with divine authority. Each time you repeat it, you strengthen the current. Each time you imagine the money in hand, you open the channel wider. Each time you affirm with gratitude, you hasten its arrival. So I invite you return to this call often. Speak it aloud in the morning, in the evening, whenever you feel lack tugging at your mind. Replace doubt with decree, fear with faith, timidity with boldness. And know this, every call is heard, every decree answered, every bucket filled. For the storehouse is infinite and your supply is sure. Now, beloved listener, if these words have stirred your spirit, if this money call has awakened your voice, I invite you subscribe and support this channel. For together, we are building a sanctuary of decree, a temple of sound, a movement of abundance. Each word spoken here is a seed that blossoms in the lives of many. Speak boldly, live boldly, receive boldly. For money is listening and it longs to answer your call. When we speak of wealth, of prosperity, of money arriving in perfect time, we must begin with one essential truth. Nothing appears in form until it first exists in image. Before a house is built, there are blueprints. Before a dress is sewn, there is a sketch. Before bronze is poured, a sculptor shapes the clay. So it is with money, so it is with wealth. Visualization is the mold, the invisible form into which life pours substance. Many people call for money vaguely. They say, "I need more," or "I wish I had enough." But vague images bring vague results. Imagine mailing a letter with no address. Where could it possibly arrive? The postman would hold it uncertain where to send it, until at last it is returned undelivered. Your orders to the universe are no different. A vague picture produces a vague outcome. So today, I am asking you to build your mold with precision, to let your imagination take brush and paint and sketch the picture clearly. If you can see it, you can hold it. If you can feel it, you can call it. If you can smell the ink, hear the rustle of the bills, feel the cool, smooth paper in your hands, then you have already begun to bring it into form. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. Let the body rest. In your mind's eye, see yourself sitting at a desk. Before you is a checkbook. You pick up a pen and you can smell the faint, fresh scent of ink. Slowly, carefully, you write today's date. Your hand moves easily, gracefully across the page. Now you write the amount, see it clearly, $10,000. The zeros round and full. The comma steady. Your signature flows beneath it. Pause here. Look at what you've written. The check is real. You can see it. You can feel the slight texture of the paper beneath your fingertips. In this moment, you are building the mold. You are sketching the invisible blueprint of what is to come. Say softly to yourself, "What I picture, I plant. What I plant, I reap." My check for $10,000 is already written in the substance of spirit. Think of the sculptor. Before he casts in bronze, he takes clay into his hands. He shapes the face, the folds of a garment, the delicate features. This clay is not the finished statue, it is the mold. It is the pattern that tells the metal where to flow. Without this mold, there can be no statue. Without mental imagery, there can be no wealth and form. Your mind is the sculptor's hand. Your thought is the clay. Each time you picture yourself receiving money, using money, enjoying money wisely, you press your fingers into the clay of spirit shaping the form. And soon, substance must pour itself into that form. This is not wishful thinking. This is law. Life follows the mold you set before it. Now let us go deeper. Imagination is most powerful when it engages all the senses. Do not only see money, hear it smell, it touch it. If you've ever held a crisp bill, you know the sound, a gentle flutter as you fan it between your fingers. You know the faint scent of new notes, fresh from the bank. You know the coolness of coins against your palm. Bring those memories forward. Let them color your picture. See yourself standing at the bank counter receiving an envelope. Feel the slight weight of it in your hand. Hear the envelope tear as you open it. See the numbers on the balance slip, black ink on white paper, plus $10,000. Take a breath and let gratitude swell. The picture is alive now, it breathes with you. Say it again. What I picture, I plant. What I plant, I reap. Money flows into my prepared mold. Now let me pause and tell you why many fail. They close their eyes and they say, "I'll try to imagine," but they are not specific. Their images are cloudy, rushed, half-formed. They picture lack instead of supply. They say, "I hope," instead of "I see." Imagine the farmer going out to his field and tossing seed without care. A handful here, a handful there, some on rocks, some on hard ground. How much harvest will he reap? Very little. But the farmer who prepares the soil, who plants rows with intention, who waters and tends, he reaps in abundance. So too with your images. Do not scatter them loosely. Build them deliberately with care, with joy. The more clearly you picture, the more faithfully life delivers. A woman named Maria once told me her story. She was behind on bills, anxious, unsure how to pay. One morning, she sat quietly and imagined herself opening her mailbox. She pictured a white envelope with her name written clearly. She could feel the thickness of a check inside. She visualized herself holding it, smiling, breathing relief. She repeated daily, "I receive $5,000 easily and joyfully." 2 weeks later, an unexpected refund check arrived from a legal settlement she had forgotten. The amount, $30. Did she conjure it from nothing? No. She built the mold, and life filled it with substance. Imagination was the blueprint. Let me give you a practice you can use right now. Each morning before you rise, close your eyes and picture the exact sum you are calling. Write it in your mind. See it on a bank slip. Imagine it glowing on your phone's banking app. See the numbers clear as day. Then add a layer of feeling. Smile as if you've already received it. Let relief and joy flow through your body. Give thanks not as hope, but as fact. And whisper, "This is my mold. This is my form." Spirit fills it with substance now. Repeat it. Repeat it daily. Each image, each feeling presses your fingers deeper into the clay, making the mold stronger, clearer. Remember this truth: what you picture, you plant. What you plant, you reap. A farmer does not doubt the seed. He places it in the soil, and he knows it will sprout. He may not know the hour or the exact day, but he knows the law is sure. You are planting now with your pictures. You are watering with your feelings. You are tending with your words. The harvest must appear. Say with me, I picture $10,000 by September 30th. I plant this seed in faith. I reap my harvest in joy. We have spoken of the mold, the blueprint, the form. But the form alone is not enough. A mold without substance is empty. Clay without bronze remains soft. Seed without water remains dormant. What gives life to the image, emotion, gratitude, joy, certainty? This is the breath that animates the picture, the sunlight that warms the soil, the water that nourishes the seed. And so, in our next section, we move from the form of wealth to the energy behind it, from imagery to emotion, from the mold to the fuel. But before we go there, I want you to anchor this truth. Place your hand over your heart, breathe deeply, and declare aloud, I see it. I claim it. My money is already here. If you can already see your money, clearly write in the comments, I see it, I claim it. For every word you speak, every picture you form is pressing the mold deeper, making it unshakable. And life, faithful as ever, is moving even now to fill it. Imagine speaking the words I call $10,000 into my life. You say it once with a heavy heart, weighed down by fear, your shoulders slump, your voice trembles, your breath is shallow. The words leave your mouth like seeds thrown on rocky ground. Now imagine speaking the same words, but this time with a smile, with gratitude, as if the money is already in your pocket. Your chest opens, your eyes brighten, your tone is steady, rich, certain. Those words leave you glowing as though sunlight is radiating from your very being. Which decree do you think the universe obeys? Words are seeds. Emotion is the water. Without water, no seed can sprout. But with the right water, joy, gratitude, certainty, the seed bursts open and grows strong. Let me share a story. A man named David once needed $2,000 for a pressing debt. He declared aloud, I call $2,000 to me. But each time he said it, his voice carried fear. His heart whispered, it won't come. I'm too late. I don't deserve it. Days passed and nothing arrived. In fact, small expenses arose that drained the little money he already had. Contrast this with Sarah. She too needed $2,000, but when she declared it, she smiled as though it were already in her bank account. She danced a little after speaking it. She thanked the universe as though the check had already arrived. Within a week, she received a freelance opportunity worth $200. Do you see the difference? The words were the same, but the energy was worlds apart. Think of a flower in a field. Words are the seed you place in the soil. But the sun, that warm, golden, ever-faithful light, is gratitude. Without sunlight, the seed struggles, grows weak, or fails entirely. With sunlight, it unfurls, blossoms, and multiplies. Gratitude is sunlight. Joy is warmth. Certainty is the steady rhythm of seasons. Together, they create the environment where your words cannot help but bear fruit. Let us try something together. Place your hand over your heart. Take a slow breath in, filling your lungs, and let it out gently. Now bring to mind one moment in your life when you felt true gratitude. Perhaps the day a friend surprised you, the moment you received an unexpected gift, the warmth of love from someone dear. Feel it again. Let it fill your chest. Now, while this feeling is alive, say softly to yourself, I call $10,000 to me now, and I receive it with joy and gratitude. Notice the difference. The words do not feel empty. They are alive. They vibrate. They ring with power. This is the secret the emotion charges the words. Now let us be honest. Many people sabotage themselves by speaking words of calling, but feeling words of fear. They declare, I receive money easily, yet their heart trembles with, it's too hard, it never comes. I don't believe it. This contradiction is like planting a seed and then pouring poison into the soil. The seed struggles, it withers, it dies. Do not curse your own harvest with fear. When doubt rises, do not resist it in panic. Instead, gently replace it with gratitude. Say, I may not see it yet, but I am grateful it is already here in spirit. Gratitude melts resistance, like sunlight melts ice. Picture this: when you speak in fear, your words go out like gray smoke, thin, weak, dispersed by the wind. But when you speak with gratitude and joy, your words go out like golden light, thick, radiant, impossible to ignore. They travel straight to the right channels, magnetizing supply, opening doors, shifting circumstances. Say this now with feeling. My gratitude fuels my words. My joy magnetizes my supply. Let us anchor this truth with repetition. Repeat after me slowly, with breath, with joy, with certainty. Gratitude is my sunlight. My seed cannot fail. Joy is my water. My words spring into harvest. Certainty is my soil. My money grows strong and steady. Again, more deeply this time. Gratitude is my sunlight. My seed cannot fail. Joy is my water. My words spring into harvest. Certainty is my soil. My money grows strong and steady. Let the words sink in. They are becoming law within you. Alicia, a single mother, once told me she tried affirmations for years, but never saw results. She realized later that she spoke them with heaviness, almost as complaints. I call for abundance, she would say, but her voice trembled with lack. One day, she changed her method. She began dancing before declaring. She laughed, she clapped her hands. She even sang her decree, I call $3,000, now I receive it with joy. 2 days later, she received an unexpected bonus from work, $200. She told me the difference was joy. I finally believed it. I felt it. Do you see, the mold was already built, but only joy poured the bronze. Florence Scovel-Shinn taught that words without faith are powerless. Faith is feeling, faith is knowing. And what is knowing if not certainty clothed in emotion? When you know a thing, you feel calm, grateful, assured. You do not beg, you do not plead, you declare. So too must you approach your decrees. Feel them alive, feel them real, feel them already yours. We have now seen the marriage of image and energy form, and fire, mold, and fuel. But there is a danger we must guard against. For many, even after building the mold and fueling it with emotion, the habit of negative speech creeps in. They call for money in the morning and curse their finances in the afternoon. This, my friends, is like writing 2 addresses on a letter. The law cannot deliver. And so in our next section, we will speak of the danger of contradictory decrees, how one careless word can undo a faithful call, and how to guard your harvest with vigilance. But before we move forward, Anchor this moment now. Take a breath, smile, and say aloud, "My words are charged with joy. My calls are fueled with gratitude. My money arrives in certainty. Let it be law for you." Imagine writing a letter and addressing it to New York City on the top line, but on the second line, you write Los Angeles. Where will the postman send it? Nowhere. The letter sits on a desk marked undeliverable. Your decrees are letters to spirit. When you say, "I call $5,000 into my life now," you have written the address clearly. But when later that same day you mutter, "Money never comes to me, I'll never make it," you have scribbled a second address. The universe cannot deliver. The harvest halts. This is why so many people say affirmations for years with little to show. Not because the law is broken, but because they cancel their own orders. A woman once told me she declared daily, "I call $1,000 into my hands." 1 week later, a friend offered her a chance to earn exactly $1,000 helping with a project. But she hesitated, thinking, "I never get lucky. It must be too good to be true." She doubted, she delayed, and the opportunity slipped away. She had written 2 addresses, one calling $1,000 and one saying, "I never receive." The law obeyed both, and the delivery was lost. Picture a garden. You plant seeds of abundance with your decrees. But every time you complain, every time you doubt, every time you speak lack, you pour salt into the soil. Salt burns the roots. The plant cannot grow. Your garden does not fail because the seed was weak. It fails because your contradictions poison the soil. Say this with me now. A double word brings double confusion. I guard my garden with truth only. You must learn to be a guardian of your own words. Florence Scovel. Shin called the tongue a creative instrument. Words spoken in faith are divine commands. Words spoken in doubt are also commands. Do not say, "I am broke." Do not joke, "I'll never afford that." Do not sigh. Money is so hard to come by. Every word is seed. Every word is law. When you catch yourself about to speak, lack pause. Replace it with truth. Say, "I am rich in supply. Money flows to me now." Let us practice. Think back over the last week. Recall one phrase of lack you may have spoken. Perhaps "I can't afford it," or "there's never enough." Now close your eyes. See those words as weeds in your garden. See yourself pulling them out by the root. Throw them aside. Now plant a new seed. Say aloud, "There is always enough. Money flows freely to me. I am supplied in abundance." Feel the soil clear, fresh, ready to receive again. Some believe they can joke about poverty, laugh at lack, and still reap abundance. But the law cannot be mocked. Every word counts. Every decree is stamped into substance. This is why Shin said, "Your word is your wand." A wand does not wave aimlessly. It directs energy with precision. If you wave it toward lack, lack appears. If you wave it toward supply, supply arrives. Repeat after me slowly, firmly, with awareness. I do not cancel my good with careless words. A double word brings double confusion. My tongue is a wand of truth only. Again, more deeply, I do not cancel my good with careless words. A double word brings double confusion. My tongue is a wand of truth only. One gentleman told me he began carrying a small stone in his pocket. Each time he caught himself about to complain, he touched the stone. It reminded him, guard the gate of your mouth. Within 2 months, he received a new job offer with a salary increase of $15,000 per year. He told me it wasn't new affirmations that brought it, it was stopping the contradictions. So let us be clear. Imagery builds the mold, emotion fuels it, but careless, contradictory decrees break it down. You must speak with single purpose, single clarity, single address. And now we move into the next great truth, the spoken word as divine command. For words are not merely sounds, they are vibrations that set creation in motion. When you speak with faith, you call substance into form as surely as light appears at the word, "Let there be light." But before we cross into that, let us anchor this law now. Place your hand upon your lips, close your eyes, and whisper softly, "My word is my wand. I speak only truth. I guard my decree. My wealth is sure. Let it be law for you." Think of a tuning fork. Strike it once and it hums at a precise pitch. Place another tuning fork nearby and it begins to vibrate in harmony. This is called resonance. Your words are tuning forks. When you declare, "I receive $10,000 easily and joyfully," the vibration of that word travels outward. It awakens in the universe all things that resonate with that decree: opportunities, ideas, people, and channels of supply. They begin to vibrate with your command. But when you speak lack, you set that vibration instead. Which will you choose to resonate with? Every spiritual tradition honors the word as creative power. In Genesis, creation begins with sound, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. In the Gospel of John, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." The ancient sages taught that sound creates worlds. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Your word is your wand." Do you see your lips are altars? Your voice is divine command. Every decree is holy. A young man named Jonathan once practiced visualization but saw little result. One day he added spoken decrees. Each morning he stood before the mirror and declared aloud, "I call $5,000 by the end of this month. I receive it with joy, ease, and certainty." He spoke with calm authority as though reading a law already written. Within 3 weeks, an old business contact called unexpectedly offering a consulting project payment, exactly $5,000. Jonathan told me it was my voice that changed everything. I had imagined before, but when I spoke it aloud, it became real. Let us anchor this truth with rhythm. Say it with me each time stronger. Speak it, speak it, speak it. Again with more power. Speak it, speak it, speak it. The universe listens, life obeys. Stand tall where you are as if a king or queen upon a throne. Breathe deeply. Feel authority rise within you. Now speak aloud with me. I call $10,000 to me now. I receive it before September 30th. I receive it with joy, gratitude, and certainty. This is my command. This is my decree. So it is. Pause. Let the silence after your words carry weight. That silence is not empty. It is the echo of your command reverberating through creation. Some say I keep my affirmations private in my thoughts. Thoughts are powerful, yes. But a thought unspoken is like fire hidden in wood. It remains potential, but not flame. Speech strikes the spark. Speech sets it ablaze. Your inner image is the seed. Your feeling is the water. But your spoken word is the act of planting. Without planting, no harvest. Try this: whisper the word lack. Notice how your body feels small, tight, weak. Now whisper the word abundance. Feel the openness, the expansion. Words carry vibration in themselves. Now speak aloud. Wealth, prosperity, supply, overflow. Say them slowly, savor them. Notice how your energy shifts. These are not just sounds. They are frequencies that align your being with the very essence of wealth. Anna, a teacher, struggled with debt for years. She began a practice of declaring aloud each morning, Money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. I am always supplied. She spoke it with authority, not as plea, but as fact. Within months, she received back payments owed from her work, gifts from relatives, and opportunities to earn extra income. She said, "It was as if the words carved open channels I had never seen before." Yes, the channels existed all along, but the word was the command that opened them. Notice the difference between begging and declaring. When you beg, your voice trembles, your energy collapses. Begging says, "I do not believe." But when you declare with authority, your tone is calm, steady, commanding. Authority says, "This is already mine. I speak what is." Your voice must carry certainty. Speak not as a servant pleading, but as an heir claiming. Let us repeat again with rhythm. My word is law. My decree is fulfilled. I speak and it is so. Again stronger. My word is law. My decree is fulfilled. I speak and it is so. The science of sound. Even science confirms words carry measurable vibration. Sound waves alter matter. Experiments with water crystals show that positive words form beautiful patterns, while negative words distort and fracture. If mere drops of water respond to speech, how much more does the living substance of spirit respond? Your words sculpt reality at levels unseen. We have come to a great truth. Words are not casual. They are commands. Each declaration sets creation into motion. Your word is law. But law operates best when consistent. Just as a river carves stone by flowing daily, so too must your decrees shape reality through rhythm. This brings us to our final block, the daily ritual of money calling, morning, midday, evening, so that your words become steady, consistent streams of command carving channels for supply. But before we move, let us anchor this now. Stand tall once more, breathe deeply, and declare aloud, my word is divine command. My decree is law. I speak my wealth and it appears. Let it echo through your being. Let it be so. Think of a candle. Light it once and for a moment there is brightness. But if you light it daily, it becomes a lamp that guides your path. Your daily decrees are like candles. Each one adds light, warmth, and certainty to your life. Repetition is not begging, it is strengthening. Each time you speak, you press the mold deeper, you fuel it brighter, you command it more firmly. Florence Scovel. Shin said, "You cannot always control your thoughts, but you can control your words." A daily practice ensures your words are always aligned with truth, regardless of passing moods. The rhythm of daily money calling rests on 3 pillars: morning, midday, and evening. Morning A, reset a doorway. The first words of your day set the tone for all that follows. Midday, a reinforcement, a reminder, like water poured upon the seed under the noonday sun. Evening A, sealing a resting. Your last words drift into your subconscious working while you sleep. Let us walk through each. When you wake before your mind fills with noise, pause. Do not reach first for your phone or your worries. Sit upright. Place your feet on the ground. Breathe deeply 3 times. Now look into a mirror if you can. See your own eyes? Speak aloud. Each morning, I reset my reality. Money hears my first words. Visualize the sum you are calling. Be precise. Perhaps it is $10,000 by September 30th. Picture it in your account. Smile as though it is already yours. Declare, I call $10,000 to me now. I receive it before September 30th, in joy, in gratitude, in certainty. Let these be the very first words that shape your day. At midday, the world has pulled at you. Distractions, doubts, demands. This is the time to reset. Pause wherever you are, your office, your car, even a restroom stall if needed. Place your hand on your heart. Take 1 deep, slow breath. Whisper your decree again. I call $10,000 to me now. I receive it with joy and gratitude. Feel gratitude rise again like the sun at noon. This short moment keeps your vibration steady, your mold unshaken. As night falls, the mind softens. The subconscious opens. This is the perfect time to seal your decree. Light a candle if you wish. Hold a notebook. Write the sum you are calling. See it on the page. Whisper aloud, I call $10,000 by September 30th. I give thanks that it is already mine. Then close your eyes, breathe deeply, and fall asleep with the picture of your fulfilled desire. All night, your subconscious waters the seed. Daniel, a young entrepreneur, began this threefold ritual. Morning, midday, evening. He wrote his sum, he spoke it aloud, he guarded it with gratitude. At first, nothing appeared. But by day 10, he received an unexpected contract worth $7,500. By day 18, an old friend repaid a debt of $2,500. His $10,000 had arrived exactly within the 21 days. He told me it was the rhythm. I had tried affirmations before, but never daily, never morning, noon, and night. That changed everything. Consistency was the key. Let me describe one ritual in full so you may adopt it yourself. Morning. You rise, light a small candle. The flame flickers softly. You breathe in, breathe out. Looking into the flame you speak, I call $10,000 into my hands now. I receive it with joy. I receive it with gratitude. I receive it with certainty. You smile, you feel it, you step into your day. Midday. The world presses on you. You pause, step outside. The sun warms your face. You close your eyes and whisper, my money is flowing now. I am supplied in abundance. Gratitude washes you. You return to your work renewed. Evening. You sit quietly. You write in your journal, I give thanks for my $10,000 received. You picture your bank balance glowing with the number. You close your eyes and drift into sleep, certain. This rhythm builds a fortress around your decree. Say it with me 3 times each, deeper than the last. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Your harvest is not built in one act, but in steady rhythm. I now invite you into practice. Commit to 21 days of daily money calling. Morning, midday, evening. 3 times a day for 3 weeks. This is your training, your discipline, your proof. Anchor this commitment now. Say aloud, I am in for 21. I commit to daily decrees. My money flows as I command, and if you are ready, write it in the comments, I'm in for 21. We have now completed the explanation and preparation. You know how to build the mold with imagery, fuel it with gratitude, guard it against contradiction, command it with speech, and anchor it with ritual. From here, we move into demonstration stories, applications, living proof. But remember, without practice, these are words only. With practice, these are law. So breathe, smile, and declare once more, I am consistent. I am faithful. I call my money and it comes. I am in for 21. Let it be so. Beloved, we now step into the sacred practice of embodiment. For it is not enough to know the truth, not enough to hear the decree, not enough to merely wish and wonder. The law responds to embodiment. The universe mirrors back not what we long for, but what we live as if it were already true. This is the art of acting as though the money, the abundance, the wealth, the freedom already exists in your life right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, not in the faint mist of the future now. Say it aloud with me. I live it now. I feel it now. I am it now. Imagine a woman, let us call her Clara. Clara was for many years one who prayed for abundance, who dreamed of wealth, who hoped for increase. She would say her affirmations, but deep within, she carried the heaviness of waiting. She was like a guest at a table who believed the meal would arrive someday, but never took up her fork, never laughed with friends, never tasted the appetizer already before her. One day, she learned a new practice. She was told, "Clara, wear the garment before the delivery arrives." What does that mean? It means she began to rehearse joy before the check was in her hands. She began to express gratitude for the wealth before her bank account reflected it. She began to walk in confidence as though her purse were already full. And friends, what happened? The very energy of her being shifted. No longer did she send forth vibrations of lack of waiting, of hoping but not having. Instead, she became magnetic, radiant, irresistible to abundance. Within weeks, contracts that had been delayed were released. Money that had been owed suddenly appeared. And more than that, the quality of her days transformed. Because Clara was no longer waiting for wealth, she was living wealth now. Let me give you an image. Imagine you have ordered a garment from the finest tailor. You know it is already paid for, already made, already yours. Though you have not yet picked it up, you walk with the assurance of ownership. You smile as though wearing it already. You stand tall as though the fabric already drapes across your shoulders. So it is with money. So it is with abundance. The garment of wealth is already stitched in the invisible. Will you wear it now? Or will you wait for the delivery man before you dare to rejoice? Say it with me again. I wear the garment now. I live as though it already exists. Take a breath. Close your eyes if you will. Imagine your life already overflowing with the money you desire. See yourself walking through your favorite store, not in the energy of "can I afford this?" but in the energy of "I bless this purchase, for my supply is endless." Imagine yourself paying every bill with a smile, declaring, "This money returns to me multiplied. My supply is infinite." Imagine yourself blessing others with gifts, sending support to those in need, treating friends with generosity, not from pressure, but from joy. Live it now, feel it now, be it now. Here is the divine paradox. When you wait for the money to come, before you rejoice, you wait forever. But when you rejoice first, when you embody the wealth first, when you become the vibration of abundance first, the outer must align. This is the secret. This is the doorway. So I ask you now, today, not tomorrow, how will you embody wealth? Will you walk with shoulders back, knowing you are already supplied? Will you speak with gratitude, blessing the money that flows through your hands as though it were already infinite? Will you smile in the mirror and say, "I am already wealthy, for wealth is my birthright"? Remember, beloved, the law does not give you what you wait for. It gives you what you live. Let us affirm together now 3 times with deep breath and conviction. I live it now. I feel it now. I am it now. Again, I live it now. I feel it now. I am it now. One last time with power. I live it now. I feel it now. I am it now. And so it is. I will pause this block here, for we have opened the door to embodiment. In the next practice, we will move into the art of correction, how to instantly redirect doubt the moment it arises. For embodiment and correction are sisters. One dresses you in wealth, the other keeps you from tearing the garment with careless words. But for now, seal this in your heart. Live as though it already exists. Wear the garment before the delivery. Walk in wealth now. Beloved, now that you are clothed in the garment of wealth, now that you are rehearsing joy and walking in abundance, we must attend to one of the most subtle but powerful disciplines of manifestation, the instant correction of doubt. For doubt is a thief. Doubt is like a small hole in a great ship, tiny at first, but if left unattended, it will sink the vessel. The good news is this doubt has no true power. It only borrows the power you lend it by repeating its words. And you, my friend, have been given authority over your words. Say this with me now, cancel, correct, command. Let me tell you of Jacob, a man who once lived under the shadow of lack thinking. Jacob was an honest worker, diligent and kind, yet whenever a bill arrived, he sighed, "I can't afford this." Those words spoken casually, unconsciously, became chains around his finances. One day, Jacob heard the teaching, "Your word is your wand." He realized that every time he declared, "I can't afford it," he was writing a decree in the invisible ledger of the universe. So Jacob began a new practice. Each time those words slipped from his lips, he would stop himself, clap his hands, and say firmly, "Cancel, correct, command." He would then replace the old decree with a new one. Divine supply meets my needs now. I can afford all that is mine by right of consciousness. At first, he stumbled often. The old phrases came automatically. But Jacob was vigilant. He became like a skilled captain steering his ship. Each time the rudder wavered, he gave a quick correction, setting the vessel back on course. And what was the result? Within months, unexpected income streams opened. A raise came without warning. An old loan was repaid. The flow of money, which had seemed blocked, began moving freely. Not because Jacob worked harder, but because he spoke with authority. Beloved Jacob discovered the truth. Doubt has no dominion when you cancel, correct, and command. Picture a great ocean liner. The captain sets the course for New York, yet along the way, small gusts of wind push it slightly off track. Does the captain despair? Does he shout, "Oh no, we'll never make it"? No, he simply adjusts the wheel. A small correction made instantly ensures that the destination is reached without delay. So it is with your words. A doubt, a phrase of lack, a fearful thought, these are only little gusts of wind. You do not need to panic nor condemn yourself. Simply correct the course. Speak the opposite decree. Say it with me, cancel, correct, command. Hear this. It is not the doubt itself that blocks manifestation, but the failure to correct it quickly. If a spark lands on your sleeve, do you wait an hour before brushing it away? No. You act instantly before harm is done. Likewise, when doubt sparks, act at once. If you say, "I'll never have enough," correct it at once. Divine supply is endless. I have more than enough now. If you sigh, "Money is so hard to come by," correct it at once. Money comes to me easily, freely, and joyfully. If you whisper, "I can't afford it," correct it at once. God is my unfailing source. I can afford all that is mine by right. This is your spiritual hygiene. Just as you wash your hands many times a day, you must also wash your words. Let us speak together now in rhythm, sealing this practice into the very fibers of your being. Cancel, correct, command, cancel, correct, command, cancel, correct, command. Now, with the correction, divine supply meets my needs now. Money comes easily, freely, joyfully. I can afford all that is mine by right. Again, cancel, correct. Command, cancel, correct. Command, cancel, correct, command. Beloved, remember this, quickness is power. If you correct instantly, the doubt has no chance to take root. But if you let it linger, it becomes like a seed watered by repetition. So from this moment, make a sacred vow. Whenever a word of lack, fear, or doubt slips forth, you will instantly declare cancel correct command. Then replace it with a decree of abundance. This is mastery. This is discipline. This is the true warrior's path of manifestation. And now, as a living seal upon your practice, I invite you to claim this truth publicly. Type these words into the comments. Cancel correct command. By doing so, you anchor the practice in your conscious mind, you declare it before witnesses, and you strengthen the habit of correction. Say it, type it, declare it, and watch how quickly your financial atmosphere changes. So beloved, as you walk clothed in the garment of wealth, let no thread be torn by careless doubt. Guard your tongue, correct your course, command the law with precision, for you are captain of your ship, and your word is your wheel. Say it one last time with me with conviction. Cancel, correct, command, and so it is. Beloved, now that you live clothed in wealth, now that you correct doubts with the swiftness of a master, we arrive at a most beautiful law of abundance, the flow of giving and receiving. For money, like water, is meant to move. It is never meant to stagnate, never meant to be clutched with fearful hands. A stream that is dammed becomes murky and stale, but a stream that flows sparkles with life, bringing refreshment wherever it goes. So it is with money. When you hold it in fear, it stiffens, it dwindles, it seems to slip through your fingers. But when you let it move with joy, when you give freely, when you bless its circulation, it multiplies, it returns. It flows back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Say it with me: give, and it returns. Release, and it flows. Let me tell you of Elena. She was a woman who once held tightly to every coin. She saved with clenched fists, believing that if she gave, she would lose. Her heart was fearful, her wallet anxious. One day she heard a teaching: whatever you withhold from life, life withholds from you. Whatever you release in trust returns multiplied. Elena was skeptical, but she decided to test the law. One morning she felt a nudge to bless a friend with a small gift, just a bouquet of flowers, simple but heartfelt. She released it with joy, saying, "Divine substance is unlimited. As I give, so it returns multiplied." 2 days later, Elena received an unexpected letter. A relative she had not heard from in years had remembered her in a will, and a sum far greater than the gift was placed into her hands. She wept not only at the money, but at the lesson her giving had unlocked the flow. Picture a river. If you dam the waters thinking to hoard them, the riverbed cracks and dries. Fish cannot live, the plants wither, the air becomes heavy. But when the river flows, how it sparkles! It nourishes fields, fills reservoirs, carries ships, sustains life. So it is with your money. It is meant to circulate, to bless, to return. Every dollar you send forth in faith is like a seed cast upon the waters. It will come back to you in divine timing, multiplied and increased. Do not fear the giving, for giving is the very motion that proves you trust the endless supply. Say it again: give and it returns. Release and it flows. Many were taught in childhood that to give was to lose that generosity, left one poor. But the truth is the opposite. When you give in fear, yes, you may feel diminished. But when you give in faith, when you release with the affirmation of infinite supply, you enter the great circulation of abundance itself. Money, love, kindness, opportunity, all obey the same rhythm. To clutch is to choke, to release is to breathe. So when you spend, do not say, "There goes my money, never to return." Instead declare, "This money returns to me multiplied. It flows back with ease and joy. When you bless another with a gift, do not think I have less now. Instead, declare, I have more than enough to give, and more than enough returns. Let us affirm together now, weaving the rhythm of flow into our very speech. I give with joy, and it returns multiplied. I release with trust, and it flows back increased. Money is a river. I let it move, I let it flow. As I bless others, I am blessed beyond measure. Again, deeper this time, I give with joy, and it returns multiplied. I release with trust, and it flows back increased. Money is a river. I let it move, I let it flow. As I bless others, I am blessed beyond measure. Think of how the body lives. The heart pumps, the blood circulates, life flows. If the circulation stops, life itself halts. Money, too, is part of this great circulation. To keep it moving is to keep it alive. So the next time you pay a bill, pay with gratitude. Say thank you for this service, thank you for this flow. This money returns multiplied. The next time you give a gift, give with joy. Say, I am an open channel for divine substance. As I release, I receive in overflowing measure. The next time you tip a waiter, bless it. As I bless this service, I am blessed in return. The habit of blessing circulation transforms every act of giving into an act of wealth creation. Beloved, let your money be like a song, not a prison. Let it flow, let it move, let it return. Trust the river of divine substance, for it can never run dry. Say it with me one final time for this practice. Give and it returns. Release and it flows. And so it is. Beloved, by now you are walking clothed in the garment of wealth. You are correcting doubts with swift mastery. You are letting money flow like a river, giving, receiving, and circulating in joy. Now we take a bold step forward. Now we enter the realm of advanced money, calls the sacred practice of commanding larger sums with the same confidence that you once called forth the smaller. For just as a child learns to lift light weights before heavier ones, so too do we exercise the spiritual muscle of faith. With every decree, with every demonstration, faith grows stronger until it becomes unshakable. Say this with me. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. There was a man named Victor. Victor first practiced this law by calling forth a simple sum. One evening, he declared, "By divine right, I receive $100 quickly, easily, and joyfully." Within days, he received an unexpected refund check, $104 to the penny. Victor rejoiced, and his faith leapt forward. Next, he grew bolder. He decreed, "By divine right, I receive $1,000 with ease and joy." This time, the answer came through a bonus at work, one he had not expected, precisely $1,000. His confidence deepened. Finally, Victor dared to decree, "By divine right, I receive $10,000 in perfect ways." Weeks later, a long-delayed investment matured far beyond expectation, bringing him more than the exact amount he had spoken. Victor had learned faith scales. The law does not tremble before numbers. The law is infinite for $10,000 as for $10. Think of the body. A beginner in the gym lifts 5 pounds. At first, the weight feels heavy, awkward, but with practice, the muscles strengthen. Soon, 5 pounds feels light, then 10, then 20, then 50. So it is with money calls. At first, calling forth even $100 may feel like stretching your belief, but once it appears, once you see the demonstration, your faith muscle strengthens. Then you call for $1,000, then $10,000, then more. Do not fear the larger sums. They are no more difficult for the law than the smaller. The infinite has no measure. Say it with me. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. Many believe it is easy to manifest small things, but harder to manifest large. This is not true. It is no harder for the sun to warm one flower than to warm an entire field. It is no harder for the law to bring you $100,000 than to bring you $100. The only difference lies in your belief. If you say $10,000 is too much for me, then the law mirrors your own limitation. But if you say all sums are equally possible in divine mind, then the channel is wide open. You must cleanse the mind of smallness. Declare now, there is no big or small in divine supply. All sums are equal in spirit. Let us practice together, beginning with the modest and moving to the bold. Speak each with power and certainty. By divine right, I receive $100 quickly, easily, and joyfully. By divine right, I receive $1,000 in perfect ways. By divine right, I receive $10,000 in overflowing measure. By divine right, I receive $100,000 in peace and perfection. By divine right, I receive unlimited wealth now and always. Pause. Breathe. Feel the progression. Feel your faith muscles growing stronger with each declaration. Say with me now rhythmically as a chant of certainty. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. Let it root in your being. Beloved, do not shrink back. Do not whisper small sums while your heart longs for freedom. Be bold. Speak the decree. Let the numbers grow. The law is waiting to be commanded by your word. Do not ask timidly as though wealth were a reluctant guest. Command boldly as one who knows the banquet has already been prepared. For the infinite delights in your boldness. The infinite rejoices when you stretch your faith, when you enlarge the place of your tent, when you dare to ask and to claim. Say this with me, now I am bold in my decrees. I am fearless in my calls. I command abundance without limit. Beloved, you are no longer a beginner. You are no longer timid. You are a master in training, a commander of substance, a speaker of wealth. From this day forward, you will not hesitate to call forth the exact sums you desire. You will not shrink before numbers. You will know the law is infinite, and I am its fearless commander. Say it one last time with me. Step by step, faith grows. Step by step, wealth shows. And so it is. Beloved, we now arrive at the heart of our journey, the full immersion, the great flood of spoken word, the river of decrees that seals all we have learned. This is where knowledge becomes embodiment, where teaching becomes practice, where desire becomes declaration. For the word spoken with faith is not mere sound. It is vibration, it is command, it is law. And today, we speak boldly, we speak rhythmically, we speak with joy and certainty. Today, we immerse ourselves in affirmation until every cell in your body, every fiber of your soul sings the song of abundance. Say it with me now. My word is my wand. My decree is my destiny. Take a deep breath. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the life moving within you. With every breath, you are already receiving. With every exhale, you are already releasing. This is the flow of abundance. As you speak these affirmations aloud, speak them with conviction. Speak them not as wishes, but as facts. Speak them not as requests, but as commands. For the universe does not respond to hesitation, it responds to certainty. Let your words rise like a song. Let your voice become the vibration of wealth itself. We begin with gratitude, for gratitude is the key that unlocks every door. Repeat after me slowly with reverence. I am grateful for the money I have now. I bless every dollar that flows through my hands. I rejoice in the supply that is already mine. I live in the overflow of divine abundance. Again, louder this time, I am grateful for the money I have now. I bless every dollar that flows through my hands. I rejoice in the supply that is already mine. I live in the overflow of divine abundance. Feel it. Gratitude is wealth already tasted. Gratitude is abundance already enjoyed. Now we move into specificity. For a general wish is like casting seeds to the wind, but a specific decree plants roots in the soil. Repeat after me. By divine right, I receive $1,000 quickly, easily, and joyfully. By divine right, I receive $10,000 in perfect ways. By divine right, I receive $100,000 in overflowing measure. By divine right, I receive millions with ease and grace. Again, stronger. By divine right, I receive $1,000 quickly, easily, and joyfully. By divine right, I receive $10,000 in perfect ways. By divine right, I receive $100,000 in overflowing measure. By divine right, I receive millions with ease and grace. Pause, breathe. Feel the numbers not as dreams, but as present realities. Feel them vibrating in the invisible, already on their way, already yours. As you speak, see yourself living in the reality of these sums. See yourself opening a letter and finding the check. See your phone notification of the deposit. See yourself walking into your bank with joy. Say it with me, it is mine now. It arrives now. It manifests now. Again, it is mine now. It arrives now. It manifests now. Let the image be vivid. Smell the ink of the check. Feel the crispness of the bills. Hear the ping of the bank alert. Engage all senses, for imagination is creation. Now we build the rhythm. Speak each phrase as though striking a drum. Money flows to me now. Wealth surrounds me now. Abundance fills me now. I overflow with prosperity now. Again, faster, money flows to me now. Wealth surrounds me now. Abundance fills me now. I overflow with prosperity now. One more time with power. Money flows to me now. Wealth surrounds me now. Abundance fills me now. I overflow with prosperity now. Feel the joy rising. Feel the certainty building. Now we add the emotions. Speak with joy as though you already hold it. Speak with certainty as though it cannot fail. Speak with gratitude as though it has already arrived. Say it with joy, I love the money that flows to me. Say it with certainty, nothing can stop my divine supply. Say it with gratitude, I give thanks for it is already mine. Again in rhythm, I love the money that flows to me. Nothing can stop my divine supply. I give thanks for it is already mine. Now let us do a sacred call and response. I will speak the call and you repeat the decree aloud. I say money comes to me now. You say money comes to me now. I say I am a magnet for abundance. You say I am a magnet for abundance. I say every dollar I give returns multiplied. You say every dollar I give returns multiplied. I say I live in divine overflow. You say I live in divine overflow. And now together, one voice, I am wealth. I am abundance. I am prosperity. Let us rise now to the highest decree, the grand affirmation that seals this immersion. I am one with infinite supply. I am one with divine wealth. I am one with endless prosperity. I am one with eternal abundance. Again with thunder. I am one with infinite supply. I am one with divine wealth. I am one with endless prosperity. I am one with eternal abundance. Feel the power. Feel the certainty. Feel the truth vibrating through you. Now, beloved, rest in the silence for a moment. Rest in the vibration you have created. Feel the certainty. Feel the joy. Know that it is already done. Whisper softly, sealing it in your soul. So it is. So it is. So it is.